Hello, you gorgeous bunch of amazing people. Where am I looking? I'm looking the wrong end. There you are. There you are. Right, I thought I'd start doing a regular video. I've got this channel. I opened this channel. I did the little mini series back in the autumn, and but I haven't shared anything since. Unusual voices of like, oh, what have I got to share? What have I got to share? And then there's plenty of times where I just don't feel up to sharing anything, where I'm just a hot mess, and yeah, sometimes it's helpful to share vulnerably, and well, it's always helpful to share vulnerably, but you know, to share when you're in a mess, that could be helpful too, but not all the time. I am sat by the window. I've got my phone propped up because the stand broke, so hopefully it's not going to go splat halfway through. It's resting on a book. It's a beautiful sunny day. It's just beautiful. Channeling that sunshine and beaming it to wherever you are, or you might be in a much sunnier place than me anyway. Or in the depths of winter here in Britain. So yeah, nothing to share. I just needed to talk freely, I think. You know, I think like a lot of us, I'm surrounded by people who are signed up to the narrative. And some days I just want to like just burst out and just just God. It's when that I think of it as power, really. That's my inner lioness, if you like, just being like, for fuck's sake. You know, we're the human spirit. We are fire. We are all the elements. We are life. We are power. We are light. Extraordinary light. And we're supposed to be free. I don't like it. People step on my toes. Don't like it when they freaking tell me what to do. Don't like it when they mess with my family and my friends. Fuck off. Just fuck off. Just get it into your stupid skulls that, your time is over, you psychopaths. You're just hurting yourselves. You might think you're hurting everybody else, but you're just hurting yourself. Your karma is going to be, oh my God, just stop. Just know when you're beaten. It's just embarrassing now. That's what it is. It's you're embarrassing yourselves. Just stop it. If you had any pride before in your crazy belief system, worshipping the darkness, if you had any pride at all, you would know when you were fucking beaten. Anyway, I'm talking about the insane. I'm talking to the insane right now, and that's no use. But it just feels good to say it, you know? It just feels good to say, for God's sake, just quit already. It's like watching the... It's like that bit in The Simpsons where, what's his face? I don't even remember the names in The Simpsons. That's how long it's been since I've been watching any crap on TV. The little guy, when he's repeatedly electrocuting himself, it's like, just stop now. Just stop. And like, we've all been standing around waiting for them to stop, to go, ouch, this is painful, ow. Just stop. Until the point it's like, it's gone past hopeless. It's just funny now. You're just funny. But it's not funny because it's seriously impacting people still. None of this is freaking funny. I love the humour on social media. I think one of the reasons I'm making this is because I had a break from social media. And I had such a lovely welcome back. Just because I shared a bit of a rallying cry. And sometimes I think, just talking to the converted, like, what's the point? What's the point? But I got a lovely private message from John. Thank you, John. Just to say, thank you for sharing, because I'm banned at the moment. And, I'm constantly trying to rally people and keep their hopes up. So it was really good to read your post. And it really touched me. I was like, oh, God, yeah, we need to keep just speaking. If you've got nothing to share, like me right now, just keep speaking up. Just keep showing the face, the humanness, as close as we can. I know we're not in person, that would be even better. But as much as we can, keep the humanness and the interactions, and just know that there are other people and just keep sharing whatever shit you've got to share, because somebody's going to identify with it and they're going to be so grateful that you did, because it will help them. So I'm all fired up today, which is awesome. I like this. So what do I want to share? Yeah, so at the moment, so I'm an empath. If you don't know who I am, you probably don't know who I am. God, who am I? Starseed, Palladian descent, came here to freaking help in this shit show in what little way I can. That was a freaking stupid idea, wasn't it? Read the freaking small print. I'm also just a normal human being. I've had a very normal human life with, tragic challenges and amazing moments and all the rest of it, and now finally everything's come to a head and we're in this massive planetary liberation. So yeah, there are a couple of things I want to share. It's really hot at the moment. I've been all over the place. There's a lot of attacks from the dark if you're sensitive spiritually, or you might just be feeling so much emotion. And I know it's not very nice to think of energy, weapons and attacks and things from these gorgeous things you can't see. That freaked me out for a long time. I was like, well, what am I supposed to do with that information? Stuff I can't see. But, it's not something to panic over. You just get your spiritual protections going and just know that we're all in it. We're all in it. Just the same as, there's the chemtrails raining down on us. There's these spiritual attacks going on. And particularly if you're then active in light work. But if you're in active light work and under more attack, then, you're going to know about protections and things. And you're going to know people to go to learn better and better protections as well. There's always better. I think it's so important to keep thinking there's better and better. If you want your protections to be better, just ask. Just freaking ask. Just go direct. Say, I want better freaking protection, please. And those upstairs, the ones supporting you, guiding you, loving you, supporting this whole liberation process, wonderful light forces and above, all the higher realms of light, they are supporting us. And they will bring it. They'll bring it through another person. It might take a bit of time to manifest in the physical, but they will bring it. So just ask for whatever you freaking need. It will arrive. That's a little rant, wasn't it? Yeah, so spiritual attacks been going on. I've been on the floor at times these past few weeks, cleaning out a lot of personal stuff as well. I say personal, just the accumulated crap of being on this planet for so many freaking lifetimes. So it's not mine, but it is my responsibility. The stuff sort of comes from within me rather than attacks from outside. I think one thing to remember is when we get a bit hopeless and think we're especially under attack right now by, the medical rape that's going on, the chemtrails, all the rest of it, we've been under attack for thousands of years. Not being funny. And look at us. We're still freaking here. We're still freaking here. And we still have soul. Our spirits are on fire, despite everything they've done to us. I mean, just if you want some evidence of how tough we are, and that this latest, or should I say these final assaults on humanity, they got nothing on us. They have tried every means possible to wipe us out, completely enslave us, and they haven't managed to. And they're not going to manage now. So, fuck them. Yeah. I do really feel for people who are just working at the governmental cabal level of information. But again, you just got to trust in that human spirit, trust in what's good, trust in your own power. We're not going down. We're just not going down. For me, my life, everything in my life has led towards me being aware of the galactic level. I say level, aspect, whatever you want to call it, of what's going on. So becoming aware that I'm a starseed, becoming aware that I have Palladian heritage, and aware of the light forces surrounding this planet, helping us, learning the difference between these positive forces and the negative ETs who have been supporting the dark side, the cabal and everybody. So that perspective for me is just so empowering It's like zooming out of the whole show and seeing the Earth in our solar system, in our galaxy, and seeing like what's really going on. Now, I don't have all the information. Of course I don't. This is just, I'm just built for understanding and being receptive to that kind of information. But I do want to share a bit of the journey to get there, because this is a journey a lot of people are going to be going on or have been on, so it might be fun. Now, aliens. So since a kid I was like, there must be aliens. Then, we're not... It's incredibly narcissistic to think we are the only planet with life on. Like, what? That's insanity. I don't understand all these really intelligent people. It's like, no, it's insanity to think we're the only... What? So I was always aware that, there must be life. However, I was very stuck because, I've had lifetimes of abuse at the hands of negativity. So I didn't really want to know about any more of that in this lifetime. However, my Palladian family kept nudging under the door, little notes, little, metaphorically speaking, just say, hi, we're over here, you're one of us. And I was like, and that would come to me through people. I didn't trust anyone who talked about aliens. It all just seemed so fluffy and love and light, and I had deep mistrust of all that stuff. I did get wrapped up in it, but at the same time I mistrusted it as well. Spiritual bypass, I was very suspicious of these spiritual leaders. Keep spewing, just be love, just be love, just be love. I'm like, there's so much more going on to this planet. It doesn't work. Anyway, now that I know that, if you are a mega rich spiritual teacher, if you've been allowed to be a mega rich spiritual teacher, that's the clue in itself. And maybe some of them are here just to teach about the love and light end, and that's fine, but the dark side have jumped on that and turned them into pawns just to stop us from actually clearing out this shit. If all of humanity knew that, this would be over in a blink of an eye. It would be over tomorrow morning. If everyone just knew how to spiritually clean out. But the agenda has been to keep us blind, keep us deaf to it all, for all the shadow to stay in shadow, and unfortunately the new age got corrupted and infiltrated and has completely served that purpose. So, teachers that are beloved, and they bring through a lot of wisdom. They're very talented individuals. There's a reason that they were targeted to be pawns in this game, and to keep that glass ceiling on humanity's spirituality, that's basically what they're here for, or what they've been groomed to be, rather. It's a case of keep the wisdom that serves you, but just dust off everything else. Don't attach it to the person they are. Don't attach it to their agenda. Come out of the love and light, happy clappy, be in bliss all the frickin' time, but just be grounded with it. Just be grounded and be prepared to look at the dark both within and without, to the level that, you can handle gently, self-lovingly, one step at a time, all of that stuff. I've gone way off. Where on earth was I? I do this, I just go off. I do have a lot of interference. I get a lot of brain fog as well. I've been under attack all my life, really serious health issues, so forgive me if my brain is just like, suddenly goes, off, gone, into infinity. Sometimes it means Spirit just wants me to be talking about something else. So we just sit here and we wait. It's a beautiful day. I've got allotments outside my window, which is really lovely. It's like a little village, little humanity. People growing vegetables. It's wonderful. And someone's got a bonfire going. And it's sunny and it's a bit spring-like today. I don't know if you can hear the birds on the video. It's beautiful. Yes, aliens. So I was very massively resistant. And then what changed? I think I started to see a couple of people I trusted more. They were far more grounded and real, and yet they also felt connected to aliens. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay. And then I cleared out some fear about negative aliens. That really helped over a few years. And I learned a bit more about spiritual protections, and again, massively resistant to my path and purpose, massively, because I'd had so much trauma with all this stuff for lifetime after lifetime. I do believe that, millions of us starseeds have been sent here, and unfortunately, many have not made it. And I think the light forces knew that not many were going to make it through, because we are the SAS force. And I say that, whether you think yourself as a starseed or simply a truther, we're like the SAS. We've gone undercover on this planet to disrupt the system, disrupt the matrix. And it's been a very dangerous mission. And that's just how it is. That's what we signed up to, because we're freaking badass. Honestly, I've got no idea yet. I don't think any of us have got any idea yet what we're really going to find out about the mission we are pulling off on the other side of this. Wow. We're going to be watching the movie of all of this. This is going to happen. I've seen it. We're going to be watching the movie of our own missions on this planet, and we are the heroes in that movie. And this is not some kind of egotistical trying to separate us from anyone else. This is owning what we are freaking doing. This is taking pride, spiritual, divine pride in what we are doing here from the bottom of our hearts, because we love, because we love humanity, even if they annoy us at times and we'd like them to wake up a bit sooner. But we just love them. They're like our children in a way. And I don't mean that patronisingly either. I mean in just a really deeply nurturing, loving, parental way. And that's how the galactics feel towards humanity. And they see humanity as powerful and sovereign, and everyone out there in the solar system and the galaxy beyond, in the universe, they want humanity to return to the family. They want us to come home. Oh, I'm just feeling them all as I say that. They're like nodding and smiling. Oh gosh. And it's so much bigger than that even. It's, there's an idea that humanity were created. These bodysuits, our mental makeup, our emotional makeup, all the different levels of us, the different aspects, the beauty of us. It was all created so that we would go into the dark. We signed up for duality, light and dark, which was never a learning tool. It was a mistake. But I'll get to that another time. We were sent into the dark to then learn about how it operates, like undercover spies, basically. We've all, in humanity, collectively, has been like undercover spies. And I don't know why I need to say undercover and spy. That kind of speaks for itself. But to understand the dark, to take it on, to fall asleep, so we could then learn how to wake up out of it and drag all this darkness with us back into the light, so that this darkness across the whole of our universe would finally be wrapped up and done with. I mean, it's epic. It's so epic, guys. I can't... Oh, God. It's just incredible. So please, please, please keep the faith in who you are and what you came for and why you're here. You don't have to be into aliens. I don't give a crap if you're into aliens or not. Or galactic family. The fact is you're a truther. And that's divine in itself. And it means you are a spy in this war on the side of the good guys. And you're doing a freaking awesome job. So, but I do want to carry on this thread of how I got on board with aliens. So I'd found a couple of people who I respected more and felt were more grounded about it. So I was a bit like, okay. And then, I saw a video on YouTube. I haven't been able to find it since. And it was all about Earth, and when Earth was invaded by these dark forces, these dark races, who basically they've lost attachment to source, to divinity completely. They've gone so far down the dark road, they've completely lost connection, and so all they know is to go from planet to planet, solar system to solar system, and just pillage everything, and steal the light and the resources from those who are still connected to divinity. And it's this very tortured belief system they have, which is they don't believe in divinity, but they still need to feed off divinity because divinity is all there is, if that makes sense. So they fool themselves in their, they are completely veiled to themselves. They get around it by stealing and like slapping different labels on what they steal and converting the energies against themselves into darkness so they can pretend that they are omnipotent and resourceful and self-serving and their own gods, basically. So it's completely warped and crazy belief system. Complete insanity, utterly self-destructive. So that's the kind of race we're dealing with. Or have been dealing with, rather. They're nearly gone. So, what did I get to? Oh yeah, so this video on YouTube, so it was about how they had invaded Earth how many thousands of years ago, and humanity was then under the spell, under these rulers, these dark rulers, these black magicians, and how the Pleiadians and other positive ET races were helping humanity. And it was a beautiful video saying, we don't want to scare you about any of this stuff, we try and keep it really lighthearted, we don't want to frighten you, but this is the situation. And it was just beautifully done, and it showed the Earth and the galaxy, and it showed the battling spaceships, because trust me, there's been many, many, many massive galactic wars through bringing this darkness home through this whole process. Some people, dream of it, like many of us battle in our sleep. Our souls, have missions beyond this earth. And the video, oh God, I was sobbing all the way through this video, and the music and everything. When something just hits you so hard, and this was for me. This was for me too. It's like a direct message straight to my heart. And that's when I started to really acknowledge, oh God, I am a Pleiadian. And then my next resistance to it was, can I be one of the more interesting ones? This is a really being vulnerable about my ego here. I love the ego. The ego is just the individuated self, so divinity can experience herself through all these individuated beings, of which I'm one and you are one. So the ego is a beautiful, beautiful construct, but it just gets out of its tree and becomes a negative thing when we lose connection to source, and it's no longer in service to source, but becomes its own self-serving thing, which is what the dark beings have fell for. So my ego getting out of its tree was just like, oh, but everyone's a Pleiadian. The more I learned about people connected with aliens, Pleiadians, they're like, yeah, that's like the normal one. Like, can I be like Syrian or Arcturian or Lyran or that's how my brain works. But it was just more resistance to the truth. It was more resistance. And then I had a couple of spiritual experiences, because I am a light warrior, and part sort of goddess, and the rest of me is light warrior. And oh God, I had a couple of experiences where the dark seriously kicked my butt, and part of my training, part of being on this planet, and my Pleiadian family, they saved my ass big time. And that's when I truly tapped into this, the awesomeness of them, and my very, very deep personal connection to them, and how much they adored me and loved me and were doing everything to keep me safe under the most incredibly difficult circumstances. It was just so, so beautiful. It was literally like, meeting my real mum and dad, my real brothers and sisters, all of it, extended family, everyone. They love it when I'm talking about them, because it brings them into the room when I'm talking about them. Hi guys. And that's when I truly know, oh god, yeah, and that's when I was proud to be a Palladian. I was freaking proud, you know. And actually in the video that made me cry all the way through, they talked about this was almost like coming back into their past, almost like to correct things, or to go to a deeper level of, you know, getting this darkness out, because, you know, obviously we're dealing with a timeline which went badly wrong, basically, for humanity to be invaded, and we're in the process of clearing it all up. You could see us as like the janitors of the universe at the moment. Got our mops out. Yeah, so I just wanted to share that about aliens, because I don't think many people talk about, I don't know, the resistance and the journey. Like, you see lots of people who just seem very, I'm an Arcturian, and yeah, I guess I just don't hear people talking very vulnerably about it all that much. Maybe I just haven't seen stuff, I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to share that, because people will be increasingly going through this process of like, shit, there's an alien galactic family. I mean, alien's the wrong word, it's not a very nice word really. There's so many connotations, but, you know, of course there are, because the dark side wanted us to stay away from our galactic family, and our galactic family to stay away from us. Why do you think that is? Because we're so much more vastly empowered when our, you know, sort of, you could think of them as big brothers and sisters, have got our backs. The dark did not want them to come here. In fact, as I understand it, the original reason that humanity could even be taken over was basically, you know, we were invaded and we were then hostages. So the dark side were like, look, you galactic lot, if you come near humanity, we'll just blow them up straight away. That's it. And that's the only reason the galactic family have had to be so hands-off. That's the only reason that, like, deals were made, not because our galactic family were colluding with the dark in any way. It's because they were saving our butts, because we were hostages at that point. Why is it different now? Suddenly that question comes to mind. I'll tell you why. Because of the laws of free will and sovereignty. And because we've been able to incarnate more and more starseeds here, and to influence humanity's rise in consciousness and desire for free will, and, desire for freedom, and desire to activate their free will, the dark cannot do anything against free will. That is an absolute law in the universe. They can twist it, they can bribe, they can, let's just say it, they can torture people into giving consent, they can use mind control, they can use brainwashing. These are all kind of loopholes they have found in the universal laws to get away with what they do. But at the end of the day, they cannot go against someone's free will and their informed consent. They cannot. It's an impossibility. So this is where the light forces, our galactic family, have now been able to come in more and more and make more and more contact with us, because as we've started to wake up, we're like, yes, we want to connect with you. So, you know, there's, you know, gratitude from me for the people who have been more advanced, who've been in touch with galactic family, to cut open that path, to lead the way, to be a leader, opening those connections and putting all the information out there about their experiences about aliens and being a contactee, and making it feel safe and okay to do that, cutting through all the bullshit that, you know, aliens are always terrible. You know, just look at all the alien invasion films, for God's sake. Yeah, all those forerunners, so that I could then safely and comfortably come to the truth of who I am. Like, oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And then so I'm another person in touch with my galactic family. They have my consent to communicate with me. And the dark, they can't touch that. So this is why it's changing now. And the galactic family can now come in, because they're getting more and more consent from humanity to say, we don't want to be slaves anymore. We want to be connected. We want to be free. And also our galactic family, this is not just that they are a family. I mean, they are. But it's also that, you know, the Galactic Confederation, they are, employed is totally the wrong word. It's a very human level word. Their mission is to uphold the Galactic Codex, which is all based on love and freedom and sovereignty and equality for everybody. I don't mean the corrupted version, words are so difficult, the corrupted version of equality where everyone's like, you know, drilled into the same peg hole. I mean true equality where people get to express themselves as individuals but not hurting anybody else. So it's their mission. That's what they're designed for. Galactic Federation. They are upholding the Galactic Codex. So they, it's their job, if you like, to respond to our call of like, hey, our free will has been messed around with. This is not what we choose. And now that we can finally say that, because we've woken up enough to be able to say it, our galactic family can come in and be like, right, we can now help you. We've got your consent. Now, it's a bit trickier than that because, you know, actually helping us is trickier because, you know, the dark set up booby traps and dead man switches and threaten to blow us up and things, which, by the way, they're not capable of. The light forces have got all that in hand. But the light forces have to constantly deal with this threat whilst they gradually get closer and closer to us. So they've, you know, so much clearing has been done on the etheric plane. They are now working throughout the astral plane. I mean, just to share something else today, so 2 years ago, they couldn't get anywhere near the astral plane because the dark was still too powerful. The dark could have instantly blown up the planet because they're sick fucks and they would happily blow up themselves, or they think they can escape through wormholes as they blow up the planet because they would rather destroy. You know, it's like, just think of toddler mentality. But, you know, there's no denying they've got a lot of, like, intelligence, but not wisdom, and not maturity with it. So they're, like, intelligent toddlers who, you know, they throw all their toys out the pram, they just destroy everything. If they can't control it, they'll just destroy it. So light forces have had to work with that. So, but finally, so 2 years ago, on the astral plane, the light forces couldn't touch it. It was too dangerous. The darkness had too much power on Earth. They could immediately trigger all sorts of chaos and destruction because they would pick up on the light forces intruding. I say, you know, it's the dark that intruded. However, so now one of the latest posts from Cobra, light forces are all over the astral plane. There's a massive war going on at the moment in the astral plane. The dark can't possibly win. They don't have nearly enough power. The light forces, they're always one step ahead. I mean, yeah, the dark continuously throws stuff up, but the light forces, they've had it every single turn. I guess that's what I mean about feeling confident when you can see the galactic level. So that perspective of the light forces, they see it as already won. And I know people regurgitate this, and it's not very helpful because when you're suffering on the ground with all this shit show, the last thing you want to hear is like, oh, we've already won. It's like, well, we clearly haven't, because all this shit is still going on the surface. Like, hello. So, but what that perspective is really about is that, you know, our galactic family have been in this war for, well, thousands of years. Let's say it's reached its peak in the last, let's say, 100 years. Definitely the final peak in the last 20 years. So, you know, when you put it into context of, you know, we've got like a year or two of final clear up compared to all the battles that there have been and all the endless strategies, you know, Christ was part of this. We're talking about a massive long plan. Everything that's in every, you know, Bible, Quran, whatever. I know, shit got into there as well. But that overarching over thousands of years, what all of this was about, and like the end of the Mayan calendar and everything that like the Native Americans speak about, their prophecies, all of it over thousands of years was talking about this very spiritual battle, this war to get rid of darkness once and for all. People have a problem with the word war. Like, You have to go into darkness to transmute it. It has to be done. You can't just leave it. You can't leave it in shadow. Just like, you know, anyone who's done any iota of personal work, it's not that you have to relive trauma, but you do have to bring your consciousness, you know, to it enough to heal it, to bring light in there. So, but that healing process will get so much easier because, you know, the light forces will be able to, the advanced tech, the advanced healing that's pretty much already here, we won't need to suffer when we heal anymore. It'll be such a quicker process. But anyway, that's another topic as well. So yeah, when you think of it, we're just in the last couple of years of a many thousand-year war. When you keep that perspective and just zoom out of the shit show, it's like, okay, yeah, there really is just stuff on the surface. When we see the governments, the cabal level, still, it's kind of like, so the dark side have set up all of this mind control and dumbing down consciousness over a long period, and they've really intensified it over the last 20 years, massively. It's kind of that it's all still running. It's not really powered anymore, so like the negative ETs are virtually all gone now. Sort of the dark magicians who sort of, you know, in the back rooms creating the energy for all this darkness, they've all virtually been wiped out now. So it's just kind of running and running, a bit like, you know, I just this is very silly. I have an image of a tractor that the driver's jumped off. He's like, shit, I'm going out of here. And it's still running until it's run out of petrol. And that's basically what we're seeing now with this whole, you know, the mandates and stupid stuff going on and attempts to still be a tyranny. It really is a farce now. I mean, you know, obviously we want it to end tomorrow because we don't want anyone more to suffer any of that crap. But it really is like that tractor is just going to run until the petrol runs out now. The whole mind control thing, there's nothing powering it anymore. I mean, yeah, humanity itself, the sleep people, are still investing all their energy into it. But as soon as they see that tractor starting to wibble and, you know, well, we're already seeing that, aren't we? It's starting to go all over the place because no one's really steering it anymore. It's starting to look a bit crazy. More and more people wake up. They stop powering it. So it's just going to like dribble to an end. So that's what we're seeing now. So that's brilliant news as well. It's not really it hasn't got the massive army of dark power behind it anymore. That's been virtually all dismantled. So that is something else to really hang on to. I'm going to wrap this up soon. I've been chatting for ages. Jesus, I really need to get it off my chest, clearly. Is there anything else I want to say, just to finish? I love you guys. Oh, I freaking love you. I just think you're all freaking amazing. Strong, determined, belligerent, renegades. Just the best. Rebels. Absolute best. Truthers. Against all adversity. Against no one believing you. Having to deal with horrendous stuff. You know, did I mention this before? You know, the ones in the narrative, they're in the comfort zone. They get to all hang out together and be buddies, you know, like, oh yay, we're fighting this common enemy, yay. Whereas us thought, we're having to do it on our own and get connection where we can through a screen. And try and not go mad and crazy and deal with the fact, oh shit, we might lose our family, we might lose our friends. And spiritually having to dig so deep to be like, well, you know, the worst comes to the worst, if they, you know, if all the healing tech doesn't come in time for them, I'm going to be on my knees. I'm going to be in a lot of grief. I'm going to be pissed off. And I'm still going to go on fighting. I'm still going to go on living. And I'm going to keep going on fighting. Because I'm a freaking strong, amazing soul. All the way through this. And we're not being funny, guys. Like, if we've survived to this point, we are all definitely going all the way through liberation. Can you imagine on the other side? And I'm not talking about people finally waking up even, just like when all of this is done, we've got honestly, even the people on the planet who can really tap into the future and get visions and stuff, I have some of that. But even those of us who can do that, we've got no idea how good it's going to be. How good it's going to be on Earth We have not seen anything yet as to human potential, when the spirit of humanity really rises collectively. I mean, look what it's doing already with just, was it like 34% or something of us haven't taken the jab. Never mind all the people who've had one or two and since woken up. I mean, look at the power that we have. Look what we've done. Like, you know, and all the amazing lawyers and doctors like trying to, you know, do the court cases and the, Nuremberg trials too, and masses and masses of work. Look what we've done. You know, when the pandemic started, conspiracy theorists really were the minority. Really, really were. And now there's millions upon millions upon millions of us. Like, just look at the power. Alright, my gorgeous lot, I'm going to stop rambling on. Thank you so much if you've been listening to me. I'm well aware this is to nurture my soul. I need a space where I can just talk and talk about this stuff. I really do. I don't have anywhere like that in my life. You know, apart from with you truthers. I'm very lucky to know one truther in real life. I know there's other things I could go to, like stand in the park is fantastic. It's a bit difficult for me to go out regularly, just to, you know, the old health issues, just all the normal stuff, PTSD, chronic health conditions, just symptoms of living on this frickin' planet. Not being funny. So, yeah. Oh, my loves, thank you for being here. This is really healing for me. So I just, you know, hope there was even just one tiny little part of that which was helpful to you, that just make my day. So do share. If there's anything I've talked about that you want me to talk more on, please do. I will just be ranting away like I have with this one. I do even say I'm not a channeler. I don't channel my galactic family and pass new information. That's not what I'm here for at the moment. You know, my galactic family, I'm just not in a position to do that mentally, physically, emotionally. The people they choose to be contacts are very, very few and far between, and it's very, what could I say? It's very difficult to keep those contactees safe, and I'm just not one of those people. So what I will be talking about is my own personal experience, and anytime there's information, I'll definitely try and reference that. It will generally be like through Cobra, contactees like Megan Rose. I do like Simon Parks. I don't care what other people say about them. I know people get very disheartened with the people they follow, but like, you know, let's not be codependent with these leaders either. I think a really good rule is to say, you know, nobody is going to be more than 80% correct. There are so many veils. It's so difficult to know the true information. At times it might be that, you know, the light forces want to send people off track for a very good reason. You know, this is a real game of cloak and daggers, and I don't know if I said this before, but, you know, we are in the trenches. We are on a need-to-know basis, and we don't need to know. And I know that's so hard in some ways. I mean, the galactic family has suffered huge losses, bless them, and oh God, so many heroes. And heroes in human form as well, who we'll never know the names of. Oh God, just huge sacrifice. And beside that, I do think we are in the most difficult position because we are in the trenches, and every single soldier there's ever been who's been in the trenches knows this feeling of you are only given the minimal instruction. You don't even know if what you're doing is doing any good. You can't see, you know, you look out over the top of the trenches and there's just no man's land. There's, you know, you're not going to be told stuff. We're on a need-to-know basis only. However, we did train for this. This is what we came for. We knew that was the role we would take on. We wouldn't be one of the galactic commanders who's got far more of an overview, but in other ways, you know, massive responsibility. We are in the trenches and we've just got to keep up morale. A lovely friend, the same guy I mentioned earlier, was sharing that, that's John, was sharing, you know, you think back to World War II, they said this will be over by Christmas. and they went through, I think it was 6 Christmases in the end. I mean, you know, so just hunker down, everybody. We've got each other. We've got the internet, thank fuck. We can connect. We can boost each other. And please, just share your stories. Keep sharing your stories with each other. You know, I nearly didn't make this, just thinking, oh, I've got nothing to say. Just seeing a face, chatting, just familiar faces. For me, familiar faces on my social media. I love you guys. I don't even know you, but I do know you. So, yeah. All right, I will actually leave it there. I love you. I'm not going to say we're nearly at the end because it might just drive you nuts. If you're feeling particularly wonky at the moment, it's totally to be expected. We've got full moon, we've got Mercury retrograde, we've got massive movements behind the scenes. What else have we got? Yeah, this is kind of like a 2-year point since lockdown started. Far more people waking up. I think, according to various sources, peak stupidity, Cobra called it, at the moment, this moment. Other sources like Simon Park saying, you know, there's going to be something big. I know they keep saying this, but, you know, my intuition is saying, yeah. Will there be news very, very soon in the mass media? Is the spell going to be broken? Are they about to announce that, oh yeah, sorry guys, that you know, the needlecraft is, it's all a bit shit actually. They're trying to work out how to soften the blow. They're trying to work out how to get it out into the collective about aliens without freaking people out, with positive galactic family, because galactic family are ready to come. Well, they've always been ready, but we're ready for them. How do we make the masses feel safe around that? So much going on. So much going on. Be good to yourselves. Take care. If anyone's got the wretched flu at the moment, I know it was going around. Lots of love to you. Don't succumb to the fear. You've got this. Your immune system is awesome. And just remember, the light forces, they're especially looking after us. They are especially looking after us. You know, we are their soldiers on the ground. We are all part of the same army of light. All right, I love you, I love you, I love you.